Yeah, and so one is compliance, second is cost savings, and third is environmental impact. As I mentioned earlier, right, there's definitely efforts not only from local governments, right, state governments, national mandates on sustainability and efficiency across multiple different industries, construction being one of them, whether it be commercial, whether that be residential, institutional, right? There's this push for sustainability and efficiency. And so for construction companies, they have to comply to the rules and regulations that are ultimately being mandated from those governing bodies. And then the other is cost savings. And not just cost savings just from like a labor and material standpoint, but it's also cost savings in terms of energy usage over time as a customer, as even a state, a municipality, even as a country, right? The demand on energy is only going to get higher and higher. And the more construction industry can implement these sustainable practices, whether again it's through materials, whether it's through building methodologies, that ultimately passes down into cost savings, not only to the customer, but also to everybody around you as well. And then environmental impact. And it has sort of the same definition as cost savings, right? It's how is how are we going to move the needle forward to ensure that what we're building is sustainable and is doing right for our environment long term. Um, and so you have all these initiatives being pushed to ensure that, whatever is being erected, whatever is being built, ultimately is having some sort of, net zero change, for lack of a better term, right? And many of you have probably heard of this, is, there's a big push when we think about erecting buildings and erecting any sort of structure that is ultimately going to consume energy. Well, we understand that we're going to consume energy, but ultimately, how are we going to offset that, right? So that it doesn't have such a big environmental impact. So you see um, a lot of regulations pushing net zero or passive building methodologies, because as much as you're taking from your surrounding environment, you also want to be able to push back, right, that same energy output that you're ultimately intaking.